Since the start of this year, I've been telling you that Solana was so well placed for a perfect investment. There's so much going on with Solana that you perhaps have never even thought about. And in this video, I'm going to talk about the latest news from Google and how this could potentially drive the Solana price to highs you can't even imagine. So hit the like button and let's get into it, shall we? So guys, since the very start of this year, or at least the end of last year, I was telling you that when Solana was all the way down here, that it was a perfect opportunity to invest. Everything that drove Solana to having a $250 price point back in 2021 was still true at this point. The only difference was it was in the bottom of a bear market and then it got caught up in the FTX and Sam Bankman-Fried drama, okay? Which caused a massive sell-off and then some further capitulation towards the downside. Solana at one point was worth $7.94, and since that point already, this year Solana is sat around 243% up, while all those people have been like, oh, Solana's crap. Even if you think that, guys, you could have more than doubled your money. So I don't care really what people think that much about these projects. Now, what is really important to identify is that right now, Solana is building towards a very exciting future. Now, I watched an incredible video yesterday from No BS Crypto, and make sure you go and check it out after this video. That guy has got some really top draw content in the technical aspects of different projects. And this one about tokenomics really blew my mind. I'll leave a link for that down below in the description. Now, he made me very aware that it wasn't just the token in supply and the project and how good the project was. So looking at various examples, he was talking about different projects and why the project might seem like a really top draw project, that just buying the tokens and hoping that the project's going to make you lots of money isn't necessarily what you need to look at. You need to look at whether or not those tokens are being taken out of supply and locked away in various different functions. And when it comes to Solana, I want you to think about different things that Solana has that lock away tokens really well. Now, in the past bull market, we saw massive growth in Solana because of the Solana NFT market, which is the second biggest NFT market. Not only that, that NFT market is stealing market share from Ethereum. And you're like, oh, NFTs are dead. Well, guys, obviously you think that because it's a bear market, and the NFT market will tend to follow on from a crypto market. So I do anticipate another pump in the NFT market. But because Ethereum fees are still high, the Solana NFT market will see better growth. We're now seeing Solana becoming way more heavily involved in lots of things like GameFi, and I do think that that is a very exciting way to again start to lock up more Solana tokens. It's phenomenally fast. There's so many things going on at Solana that make it a top tier project that deserves to be far higher than it was. And only because of this massive drama with FTX that didn't really come from any fault of Solana's was it so undervalued. So right now we can see a very interesting pattern that I've shown here. We can see this green box. This is very common in crypto, guys. You get a trend that goes to the side like this. You'll get a fake out in the opposite direction, then it comes against you. This is a very key indicator. If you get out of a pattern and you get back into it, then you are potentially on for something very exciting. So go to TradingView, draw yourself a box, wait for the fake out in the opposite direction, and then you've got the opposite opportunity. Now you do want to wait for it to retrace back into that box, just for certainty. So what else is going on with Solana that's so important? This news is from a couple of months ago, but it's worth paying attention to given the movement that we're seeing in crypto right now. Google Cloud to help Web3 builders fast track their startups. Google is now starting to invest money into Web3 tech. Web3 is the future of the internet, and many people don't really even know what Web3 is right now, but I guarantee in the next few years, you'll be using it, and everyone else will. This is where mass adoption comes in, because to interact with the internet, everyone's going to have cryptocurrency. And who is already way ahead of the curve when it comes to this? Well, this, guys, Solana has a smartphone, a crypto smartphone, that maybe isn't the most exciting thing right now because obviously we've all still got our iPhones and our Androids or whatever else, but the crypto phone is basically the benchmark for the Web3 mobile device going forward. And since most people nowadays literally just own a mobile and don't really even own a laptop, they're going to be looking to use Web3 phones. Solana integrating the Google Cloud into its phone using Solana. Wow, you've got some really exciting prospects there. Again, locking up all that liquidity for Solana. There's something else that's so big, and I've heard Raoul Pal talking about this, and it's also really, really important to look at. Now, guys, what I've got for you here is something that is speculative, but very, very important to note. On the top, we've got the Solana price over its sort of life cycle from back in early 2021, at which it was kind of around similar price to what it's at now, really. And down below, we've got Ethereum, and this is the bull market top in 2018. Now, I mentioned something similar in a Cardano video I made earlier about this. Here we can see Ethereum has a very similar life cycle to Solana as we look at it here. From that low down here, we saw Ethereum from the bottom of this bear market do pretty much a 9x, just over a 9x. If we look into Solana, we saw it do pretty much a 7.5x in that first market cycle, okay? This is very important because as you come off the top, look at Solana, it drops, it comes back up to this point here. Ethereum, it drops, it comes back up to this point here, and then we go into a sustained bear market move before having a dip towards the downside, which we condense these charts to being roughly the same sort of scale. You can see that we dropped into this kind of event down here. Here we can see this event happened on the March the 20th. Here we can see this is May the 29th. Here you can see kind of a similar events happened. We get a drop towards the downside, we then start to move up. We get dropped towards the downside, we then start to move up. From that low of that bear market for Ethereum, okay, for Ethereum, it does an 86x. So from the high, the previous high from Ethereum, it does a 2.4x. So if we imagine the Solana can do something similar to Ethereum, where it can do a 2.4x from an all-time high. A 2.4x from here takes you to around $900 per Ethereum. So from the lows here up to around $903 it was, you can see that that for Solana is a 31x. And you're like, well, there's bigger gains to be had in other cryptocurrencies. I would agree with you that that's true, but Solana sits very, very pretty in a top spot in the crypto market. It is going to be a top 10 cryptocurrency, whether you like it or not. And that's because of all the utilization that it's getting across the board, the demand that comes in. It's got a phenomenal marketing team, a phenomenal team behind the tech. And yeah, maybe it's like centralized and all these other things. But guys, it's simple. Supply versus demand and how all these things work. And this is why Solana is destined for really exciting things. And that is my opinion, okay? If you understood what I was talking about yesterday with the sheeps and the dogs and the wolves and the farmers, then you need to understand that just because I've said this, you don't just jump in and buy because of what I've said and come running back when it doesn't go your way. We all have different financial situations. We all should make decisions based on our own knowledge so that we know exactly what we're doing and take full ownership over it, because we're adults and crypto is for grown-ups, not for kids who make mistakes and blame other people, okay? So Solana right now looks very juicy in my opinion because of what's going on. Is it a great time to buy? Well, let's dive in a little bit closer. Now guys, if you were in my free Telegram, which is linked down below, then you'll see people talking about Solana regularly and you'll understand the concept of a buy zone. And that's meant that we were already buying down in these areas down here to currently be sat around 90% up, rather than doing what everyone else is doing and looking at buying now. Now, there is a big problem with buying these big candles, okay? Because often if you buy a big green candle, or black in this case, you often will get a very big red candle straight after it. The higher the price of anything, the more people are likely to take profits. Now, as we look at Solana, we can see something quite interesting has played out. We've broken this high here, and we've run into what is clearly a substantial area of support. Now, what we can do is we can draw another box across the top of here, and let's get rid of that old one, because I don't think we're going to be revisiting here anytime soon, and identify that this is the previous resistance, and the previous resistance becomes future support. I would anticipate here that Solana is maybe going to do something kind of like this, and move down in towards this area. We can see we had a bit of sideways action indicating potential for buy zones. If we are then getting more support coming in here, this is a great potential position to be buying. Why do I want to buy here rather than there? Well, because back up to that position, that would be 8%. So I would get 22% back up here. But if I buy from here, then I only get my 12% here. And this, once you go into the top areas of a bull market, makes a huge amount of difference. Buying in as low as possible can really pay off. And yes, you might be missing out on a few dollars doing this. Let me share with you the mentality. If you go and jump into this market right now and it does this, you get lucky. You get lucky, okay? You might make some more money than I might make by waiting to get into that area. But the next time you do this, or the time after that, and you jump in on a candle like that, and it does this to you, you are going to be absolutely destroyed. and I won't be because I would have waited. Okay, so because we are patient and we're traders and we're more sensible than the average Joe out there, hopefully, we don't buy these massive God candles, okay? Because we need to wait for pullbacks and be patient. Those pullbacks come. I promise you those pullbacks come. It might not happen here. You might push up further and come back for another pullback. But having that patience and that discipline, it might lose you a few dollars here and there at the start, but it's going to save you all the money in the world at the end of those bull markets where everyone else is jumping in and doing something very foolish. So if you can understand that, hit the like button. If you don't understand that, then feel free to write another dumb comment down below, whoever that guy was. But hopefully that makes sense. Right now, Solana looks good, but I'm waiting for a little bit of a pullback. If you want to know more, as I've said, about when to buy in on those pullbacks and exactly where those pullbacks are, and know when I'm buying them, then get into the Discord, link down below, $9.99 per month, 5-day free trial. Hope you enjoyed that video, guys. Hit the like button, subscribe. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.